Right now at 10, Duluth area residents bracing for higher taxes in 2026 now face bigger garbage fees as well.
Helpful to know so you can budget and get things set up right. So
why a new landfill means new costs for thousands of homeowners. Plus a somber evening in downtown Duluth. Chum's Homeless Memorial Vigil doubles as a rallying cry for more affordable housing. And Texas sues Minnesota's largest power provider, why the state blames Xcel Energy for a massive, deadly wildfire.
Live from the KBJR-TV studios, this is Northern News Now.
Good evening, I'm Dan Wolf. Laura has the night off. Thanks for joining us. Duluth residents will likely pay more for trash pickup starting January 1st. Garbage is now being hauled to the Iron Range, and the cost of that extra distance will be passed along to many of you. Northern News Now's Kyrie Johnson visited the new landfill today and breaks down what you'll pay.
For 20 years, trash in the Twin Ports was hauled just 12 miles away to a landfill in Superior. With that location closing, your garbage and associated fees will be coming here instead. It's in Virginia, and it's 65 miles away. Trash from Duluth and surrounding Carlton, Lake, and Cook counties will be routed to the Virginia landfill after the Moccasin Mike landfill in Superior closes. They say it will decrease the garbage fees, but not for everyone.
The decrease is really for the St. Louis County solid waste service area. That's about 90% of the county. The Duluth area, they're going to see their prices probably increase a little bit.
So while disposal costs are technically decreasing, the added transportation will raise prices for Duluthians.
The typical homeowner will see about a $30 per year increase based on a 32-gallon can.
But local residents say it's concerning, and communication from their garbage disposal companies hasn't been clear.
it's kind of all a big mystery. It's helpful to know so you can budget and get things set up right. So
Pellinen says despite the transportation challenges, the Virginia landfill has become the logistically next best option, especially when it comes to the expansion of the 42 acres of the landfill.
So we could take waste for another 50 to 70 years, whereas prior to the expansion opportunities, it was we were kind of set on 12 to 14 years left of capacity. But now, with all that extra room that we'll have, we're not worried about space.
The cost change will be effective with the new year, and people can expect the trash to start moving in June and July. In Virginia, Kyrie Johnson, Northern News Now.
In recent years, the county has invested about $22 million to build a management that contains harmful chemicals. That treatment system should be fully operational next fall. Talk weather now with Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorsch. I was just outside. Temperatures not too bad. It looks like maybe some snow, though, for parts of the area tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a light dusting or coating of snow across far northern Minnesota, enough to make the roads a little bit slick in some areas. So let's take a look at what we're seeing right now on radar. A few scattered light snow showers rolling across the Iron Range, International Border, and Arrowhead region. Some of the cameras up in Granbury are showing a little bit of slush on the roadways up there right now. So again, some road conditions might be a little bit more slick tomorrow morning. As far as additional snowfall accumulation to our north, most of the region or the areas that will see snow tonight will pick up less than a half-inch of additional snow, but might see close to a half-inch, especially immediately near the international border area. Not anticipating anything from the Twin Ports and south here tonight. We have another round of wintry mix and snow moving in later on in the week. I'll talk about that in just a bit. Right now, temperatures are sitting in the upper 20s and lower 30s, seeing mostly cloudy skies across the northern half of the region. It's 32 at Park Point, 30 in Superior. Bentleyville at about 9 o'clock tonight was still absolutely hopping. All the parking lots, seemed to be full even at 9 o'clock tonight. So very comfortable conditions. Folks are taking advantage of that. There could be some patchy dense fog this evening and into early tomorrow morning, especially in the higher elevation areas up the North Shore. So that may also cause some travel concerns early tomorrow morning. We'll see mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Temperatures holding in those lower 20s through most of the day. But as we head into the evening, we're going to be seeing temperatures quickly falling down into the teens with breezy winds out of the northwest, 10 to 20 gusting to 30 or 35. I'll look at that full forecast, though. Talk about that next wintry mix system on the way for Christmas night in just a little bit.
All right, sounds good. We'll look forward to it. Thanks, Adam. Well, dozens of Duluthians gathered outside Duluth City Hall tonight for an annual pre-holiday remembrance. Chum's annual Homeless Memorial Vigil began at their food shelf location downtown this evening. The group then marched to Priley Circle for memorial service. The nonprofit that provides shelter and food to those living on the streets hosts the event for community members to show up and mourn those we lost in 2025 who were homeless, formerly homeless, or advocates for the unhoused.
One of the reasons we do this is because they're from our community, they're our friends, they're our neighbors, the people we care about, and they're often forgotten.
A portion of tonight's ceremony also focused on potential solutions to homelessness, including a call for more affordable housing.
Why, with the number of people becoming homeless increasing year after year for more than a decade, why building these units are not a priority so that people can readily get out of shelter and live productive lives.
Also at tonight's vigil, Chum collected coats, gloves, and other winter gear for those who are still living on the streets. Earlier this month, Jeff Bezos' charity fund donated millions of dollars to Chum Services. To hear how the organization will use that money, you can download our Northern News Now app. We're learning more tonight about a stabbing in Duluth's Lincoln Park neighborhood. 27-year-old Julia Durham is behind bars facing several charges, including felony assault with a dangerous weapon. The incident happened about 8 Friday night near 23rd Avenue West and West 4th Street. According to Duluth police, earlier in the day, Durham had been served a domestic abuse no contact order. That night, she allegedly showed up at the man's home who the order was meant to protect and stabbed him in the back with a knife. The victim eventually barricaded himself in a bedroom while Durham allegedly threatened to kill him. She eventually ran off. We were there as police searched the neighborhood for her. They found and arrested her a few blocks away. Bail is set at $50,000. Minnesota DNR and Enbridge have reached an agreement after an aquifer breach in Aiken County. That breach happened at Enbridge's Moose Lake site in August of 2022 near Swatara during Line 3 construction. Officials say the layer of earth above an aquifer was punctured, causing water to leak to the surface. The DNR estimates the groundwater flow was 10 to 15 gallons per minute. In an announcement today, DNR officials and Enbridge reached a solution. Enbridge has agreed to fund $1.2 million in supplemental environmental projects. Those projects will be selected by the DNR, benefiting natural resources. Enbridge will also pay $300,000 in civil penalties. Enbridge was also ordered to pay the DNR $100,000 for continued monitoring of that site, along with funding $1.2 million to mitigate future potential impacts. New at 10, Texas is suing Xcel Energy, whose downed power lines sparked the largest wildfire in that state's history. Now, the Smokehouse Creek fire killed 3 people and scorched more than 1,500 square miles of North Texas and southern Oklahoma back in 2024. Investigators determined it was ignited by a decayed utility pole that snapped and fell, dropping Xcel lines onto dry grass. Now, the lawsuit alleges the Minnesota-based power company neglected to upkeep its aging utility poles. Xcel says it's already paid out $361 million worth of claims related to that fire. Controversy and anger still surround the release of the Epstein files. The Department of Justice redacted and blacked out thousands of photos and documents. Well, now lawmakers, Democrats and Republicans, are calling for legal action to compel the DOJ to follow the Epstein transparency law. NBC's Julia Ansley has the latest from Washington.
Congress has left Washington for the winter break, but that hasn't stopped lawmakers on both sides of the aisle from criticizing the Department of Justice's release of the heavily redacted Jeffrey Epstein files. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer today introducing a resolution to take legal action for what he calls the DOJ's blatant disregard for the Epstein Files Transparency Act. The resolution echoes calls from lawmakers on both sides for more transparency.
They're flouting the spirit and the letter of the law. It's very troubling, the posture that they've taken. This was a slap in the face of survivors.
President Trump is still dealing with the controversy around DOJ's release of the Epstein files.
What this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has. Like, for instance, today we're building the biggest ships in the world, most powerful ships in the world, and they're asking me questions about Jeffrey Epstein.
Of the roughly 3,500 files released Friday, more than 680 pages of documents were entirely redacted. Some documents, like this one, featuring a picture of President Trump, were released, then recalled, then released again.
We learned after releasing that photograph that there were concerns about those women and the fact that we had put that photo up. So we pulled that photo down. It has nothing to do with President Trump.
All of it leaving victims of Epstein frustrated. The family of Virginia Roberts Giuffre, one of the most vocal Epstein survivors who died by suicide earlier this year, still calling for accountability for the powerful people who were part of the late sex offender's orbit.
I think we still have a big fight ahead of us. We understand that, and we won't stop. We won't stop until true justice is actually served.
A number of Epstein survivors released a statement today asking lawmakers to take decisive action to enforce the law and compel the DOJ to fully comply. And late this afternoon, a spokesperson for former President Clinton, whose picture was released in the trove of photos from DOJ, is calling on the Attorney General to immediately release anything mentioning the former president, saying Mr. Clinton needs no protection. Julia Ainsley, NBC News, Washington.
Still to come, an Iron Range Police Department goes above and beyond to support cancer patients. Plus, a Duluth home goes up in flames. Now the community is helping the owners pick up the pieces.
From the KBJR-TV studios, Emmy Award-winning Laura Lee and Emmy Award-winning Dan Wolf. First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Adam Lorch. And sports with Daniel Chiarelli on Northern News Now.
I have something for you.
Associate.
Hibbing police raised more money for cancer patients than nearly every other department in Minnesota this year. In October, police departments across the state wore pink badges to support the Angel Fund. It's a Duluth-based nonprofit helping Northeast Minnesota cancer patients. Hibbing PD raised $4,100, the second highest amount in the state. The department sold pink patches and T-shirts and held a fundraiser at Palmer's Tavern. The Angel Fund will use that money to buy gas cards, medical supplies, and gift certificates for patients undergoing treatment. The nonprofit has served the region since 2011. Well, just days before Christmas, a Duluth family is without a home after a weekend fire. It happened about midnight in the area of Gladstone Street and North 42nd Avenue East. It's in the Lakeside neighborhood. You can see that big fire right here. The house considered a complete loss. Now, thankfully, the Jensens, a couple and their 2 kids, made it out in time. While the cause of the fire is being investigated, Duluth Fire Chief Sean Creuset says there are added fire risks this time of year that you should be aware of. He recommends keeping a close eye on space heaters, power strips, Christmas trees, and wood-burning fireplaces.
Just be aware of what you have. Blow things out at night. If you do have a real tree, which I have a real tree at my own house, so I'm not saying that you shouldn't have one. Just be cognizant of it. Keep it watered.
The fire comes at an especially tough time of year as many of the Jensens' Christmas gifts were lost alongside their furniture, clothing, and food. And the family's staying in a hotel until they can find housing. We have a link to a GoFundMe that helps support them on our website.
Well, today we hit a high of 28 degrees. Our average high is 23 for this time of year, so a little bit above average. Our low temperature certainly in the ballpark for this time of the year. No snow here today, and we are seeing a bit of deficit for the month and the season as a whole so far. But we do have some light snow showers falling across far northern Minnesota right now, kind of just on the northern side of the Iron Range through the international border. I don't anticipate anything down here to the south, and accumulations across far northern Minnesota for the majority of that area will be less than a ½ inch overnight tonight. That low pressure system quickly moves out tomorrow and high pressure moves in behind it. So we will start off with maybe some clouds early in the morning, but becoming mostly sunny in the afternoon and breezy winds as that high pressure settles its way in. As we head into tomorrow night, there will be a slight chance of maybe a couple of flurries, but nothing significant. And then moving into Wednesday, we're going to be seeing partly cloudy to partly sunny skies. Another area of high pressure starts to dive in from the north to kick off Christmas Day, but as we head into the evening, this low pressure system will win out and we'll be seeing some wintry mix showers moving in. So let's take a quick look at that. This is still 3-4 days away, so we're gonna have to fine tune the forecast a little bit, but right now calling for wintry mix, rain, snow, freezing rain and drizzle across areas of central and north central Minnesota into northern Wisconsin. The Arrowhead will likely see mostly just snow showers through this event, so that's where we expect the most snow. Mix and rain across areas of northern Wisconsin, and the UP will also see a little bit of snow accumulation there. That's going to be, again, Thursday night lingering into very early Friday morning. The best chance for any ice accumulation will be across portions of central Minnesota and here in the Twin Ports. Most models bring in maybe a couple 1/100ths of an inch, but some models are going on the higher end, maybe closer to 1/10 of an inch, and that would be really bad. So hopefully that's not the case. I don't think it will be the case at this point in time, but something to note, especially if you have travel plans Friday morning. By Friday afternoon, things should start to clear up. As far as snow goes in the Arrowhead with that event, the best chance for seeing more than 4 inches is going to be across northern Lake and most of Cook County into northern St. Louis County and stretching all the way towards International Falls. Not as much snow accumulation for the southern half of the region. Winds are going to be picking up tomorrow, though. Going to be seeing some wind gusts tomorrow morning about 6:30 in the morning, already between 20 and 25 miles per hour. We could see some 30, 35 mile per hour gusts up the North Shore, especially in the higher elevation areas. Across the upper Midwest tomorrow, pretty quiet conditions, temperatures in the 20s and 30s for Christmas Day, though. We do have that messy system moving in. Otherwise, areas to the south should be dry and pretty mild as well. Break down that full 7-day forecast, so right after the break.
We've been setting the standard for orthopedic care.
Let's take a look at that 3-day forecast. Very mild temperatures. We're going to be seeing some upper 20s for highs for the next several days and really through most of this week. But do have that messy system moving in later in the day on Thursday, which is Christmas Day, of course. In Wisconsin, the UP, maybe a little warmer, a few more 30s for highs, and that system will likely impact you guys more in the evening hours. Here's your 7-day forecast. Should remain pretty mild temperature-wise all the way through Saturday. There is another clipper system that could bring another round of some light snow Saturday and maybe into Sunday morning as well. Otherwise, a big drop in temperatures into Sunday, 15 for a high there. Monday looking at a high of only 10 degrees, but we should see some sunshine. Very mild Christmas week here. We will be seeing that messy system, so stay tuned for updates here as we head through the rest of this week on snow totals and impacts. That's all I have for this forecast. I'll send it back to you, Dan.
South Korea may not be a hockey hotbed exactly, but the people of that nation are familiar with the sport, in part because of United Nations soldiers spending time on the ice when not on the front line during the Korean War. Northern News Now's Dave Anderson tells us how one Northlander helped export hockey to Asia, and this week's Holding On to History.
South Korea has a taste for ice hockey, and you can thank, at least in part, Northland GIs in the Korean War for spreading the sport across the globe. Arctic air from northern Canada gives our Northland the temperatures it needs for outdoor hockey. Siberian air does the same thing for Korea. Retired Duluth teacher John McAllister was ordered to play the game in 1948 as a U.S. Army soldier.
They put us into a 2.5-ton truck, gave us all a pair of skates and a hockey stick and a puck, and took us out to a rice paddy where we played hockey.
American missionaries and Imperial Japanese colonizers gave the Korean Peninsula its first taste of hockey in the 1920s. In the post-World War II 40s, Korean hockey rinks were primitive.
With a rice paddy, it isn't like an ice rink that you have here, because the stubble for the rice paddies, the rice is growing up above, so it's hard to skate on.
When the Korean War broke out in the 50s, United Nations forces like the Canadians kept the hockey lessons coming to the Korean people. They held a tournament on the frozen Imrin River in 1952 and have held several reunion games there since then. Canadian vets feel pucks make great diplomatic tools.
Today, this great game is bringing us closer to Korea.
Today, hockey isn't huge in Korea, but it is known thanks to veterans. For one brief moment, John McAllister was the greatest hockey player in the country because his opponents were from Alabama and Georgia.
I was going back and forth in between, scoring one goal after the, because they couldn't stand up.
Right now, the South Korean national team is ranked 19th in the world, and it's nice to think that Duluthian John McAllister may have had a slight hand in that. Holding on to history in Duluth, Dave Anderson, Northern News Now.
Pretty cool seeing that old-time hockey video. Well, this year's Imjin River Hockey Classic Reunion Tournament was held in Ottawa this past October. Coming up, we meet Snowy Cromer, the giant snowman making his return to a northern Wisconsin town. And even though it's winter break, we still had high school basketball tonight. Daniel Chiarelli dribbles down the court with the highlights next.
The Timberlake Lodge in Grand Rapids is the premier full-service hotel.
A winter favorite is back in time for the holidays to spread cheer in a northern Wisconsin town. In the middle of Minocqua, Wisconsin, sits a gigantic snowman known to residents as Snowy Cromer. There he is. The 30-foot tall snowman was completed over the weekend. Took a whole crew and a mechanical lift to make sure Snowy was fitted for the weather in his XL-size Stormy Cromer hat. After a 2-year vacation due to a lack of snow, the city's Visitors Bureau was more than happy to welcome him back.
He is an icon of winter tourism to the Minocqua area, and so, of course, we love having him here.
Everybody's been asking, where's the snowman? Where's the snowman? And my kids are coming up this weekend. Their dad is a snowman here. So it was great to see him. Great to see him.
And they did a great job making that. I don't even know how you go about making a snowman like that. He's going to sit in the middle of Torpy Park as long as the cold weather sticks around. Might create a flood when it all melts at some point in the spring. But my goodness, that's got to be like close to a world record size snowman.
For sure. And I don't think I've ever seen a snowman that looks almost like a wedding cake in like the tiered system. Usually it's like the snowballs. So it's interesting the way they built up Snowy.
Yeah. Anybody celebrating the holidays over that way? Something to check out. Something to check out here tonight. You were out at some high school sports.
Yeah, not a lot left on the slate, being that all our high schools are out for winter break.
Yeah.
2 games on the schedule tonight, so I head to both of them on the hardwood for some high school basketball. The Esco and Superior girls teams battling it out on the court just 2 weeks ago. The Spartans taking the big win, but tonight we switched gyms for round 2 of this rivalry. Both teams fighting to get back to 500 on the season. We start with the Spartans up by 8, moving the ball around the world before sophomore Avery Johnson splashes that triple from the corner, putting Souptown up by double digits. Johnson distributing the rock as well tonight, finding a cutting Brenna Mayer for that layup. Superior got depth scoring up and down the lineup. Senior Ava Marietto from downtown cash it. Spartans take that lead to 15, and the three-point shooting was deadly for the Spartans. Jenna Lisick getting in on the fun with that 3-ball right at the end of the half. Superior sweeps the season series against Esco, taking a 58-33 win to defend their home court. And we also had the Hibbing Blue Jackets traveling to the Twin Ports to take on Denfeld. And they kept the three-point party alive tonight as well. Junior Victoria Nyland gets the first points of the night for the Hunters from the corner. Then it's Hibbing's Gianna Manning with a nasty give and go with teammate Ruby Please and thank you. Hibbing ties up the game at 10. But the Hunters had a quick response. Lainey Reinertson with a deep midi to give Denfeld the lead right back. But back to the Blue Jackets. Bailey Bottoms working down low. A crazy angle for the shot, and it still goes in, restoring that lead back to Hibbing. A back-and-forth contest all night long, but it's the Hunters who walk away with the victory, 50-47, your final score. 2 high school hockey tournaments were announced today, and you can catch a ton of elite teams in action this holiday season. The Bill McGann Holiday Classic taking place in Proctor, with the Rails hosting 5 other teams for a 3-game tournament. The Heritage Center also opening up its doors for high school hockey as Duluth, Denfeld, Marshall, and Superior will compete. These tournaments taking place from December 29th through the 31st. We've got more information about teams, dates, and matchups on our website, northernnewsnow.com. And still to come, both the Vikings and Packers have giant question marks around their quarterbacks and whether or not they'll play in Week 17. I've got the latest details on both when we come back.
Closed captioning brought to you by the Birth.
Welcome back, and happy final night of Hanukkah. A tough week health-wise for our 2 NFL teams at the quarterback position. We start with the Vikings, who did grab a victory, but lost J.J. McCarthy to an injury. McCarthy hurt his hand on a follow-through off a defender's helmet, a similar injury to the one he suffered back in Week 10, but didn't miss any game time. J.J. says he was hurt before scoring this 12-yard rushing touchdown. Now the young gunslinger's availability fully in question. The Vikings have a short week playing on Christmas. The x-rays on McCarthy's hand did come back negative. The team saying today he'll undergo further testing. The Vikings hosting the Detroit Lions on Christmas Day at US Bank Stadium. If McCarthy can't go, it'll be Max Brosmer under center. Kickoff for that one set for 3:30. Meanwhile, the Packers still recovering from that collapse against the Bears. Quarterback Jordan Love still in concussion protocol after that massive hit. Now backup quarterback Malik Willis dealing with a shoulder injury. Head coach Matt LaFleur staying optimistic today at practice about Willis's chances at playing this week, with the only other quarterback on the roster, Clayton Tune, and he's on the practice squad. In case you missed it last night, Team USA took the ice at Amsoil Arena for the first of 2 pre-tournament games for the World Junior Championships. The Americans getting to an 8-0 shutout win over Team Germany. And even though Max Plant and Adam Kleber didn't play last night, they'll play in tomorrow's pre-tournament finale against Team Finland, a rematch of last year's gold medal game between the Americans and Team Finland. This one's set for a 6 p.m. puck drop at Amsoil, and if you can't make it, You can watch it live on our My9 Sports Network. So awesome last night to see Team USA finally hit the ice in a real game setting. Should be really awesome for that gold medal rematch. I'm sure there's some bad blood still left in these.
Yeah, looking forward to that. You looking forward to? You're going to the Vikings game.
I'm going to be
Day.
there at the Vikings game Christmas Day. It's a whiteout game. I'm super excited for it, and I heard Snoop Dogg's going to be playing, and who else? The Demon Hunters.
Oh,
sure.
K-pop Demon Hunters?
Yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. Yeah.
Can you tell I've got an 8-year-old kid?
Yeah, that's why I pointed at you. I was like, Abby's not into that yet.
I have no idea who that is.
Okay. You're not the target.
Okay.
Demo there. All right. Hey, we're going to have the latest tomorrow morning on that potential Christmas snow. We'll see you.